Tanking is a crucial role to fill in every party of adventurers. It takes a skilled and focused mind to lead a group into battle, but to be truly great at tanking, you've also got to be a little bit crazy. The Warrior is a hyper-aggressive tank with versatile abilities. All its mechanics are easy to understand and its rotation isn't complex, but making the correct offensive and defensive decisions simultaneously can be difficult but rewarding. In today's overview, we're going to dive into the Warrior. Let's get started. The entirety of the Warrior's offense revolves around the 1-2-3 combo and the Beast Gauge. The Warrior has a single combo starter with two combo enders, Storm's Eye and Storm's Path. Storm's Eye is used to apply a damage buff to yourself, and Storm's Path heals you and generates additional resources for your Beast Gauge. Both Storm's Eye and Path combo off the weapon skill Maim, which generates 10 Beast Gauge. Storm's Eye also generates 10, while Storm's Path generates 20. The Beast Gauge can store up to 100 of its resource, and you can spend 50 of it on the weapon skills Fell Cleave or Decimate for single target and area damage respectively, or 20 on the high damage off global cooldown ability Upheaval and your Gap Closer Onslaught. Warrior also has an area damage combo which generates Beast Gauge. Nothing out of the ordinary here, but there are two more pieces to the Beast Gauge puzzle. At level 50, you unlock the ability Infuriate, which grants 50 Beast Gauge on use and has a maximum of 2 charges. At level 66, you unlock the trait Enhanced Infuriate, which causes Beast Gauge weapon skills to reduce Infuriate's recast timer by 5 seconds on hit, and at level 72, you unlock your final Infuriate trait, Nascent Chaos. Nascent Chaos completely changes the way Infuriate functions. In addition to generating resources, it grants you a buff called Nascent Chaos, which converts your next Beast Gauge weapon skill into its more powerful alternative. While under the effect of Nascent Chaos, Fell Cleave turns into Inner Chaos at level 80, and Decimate turns into Chaotic Cyclone at level 72. Both of these weapon skills are guaranteed critical direct hits. The final action related to the Beast Gauge is Inner Release. Learned at level 70, it allows the execution of Beast Gauge actions without cost and nullifies Stun, Sleep, Bind, Heavy, and most knockback or draw-in effects for 10 seconds. It also guarantees that all attacks are critical direct hits. While Inner Release is active, you can land a maximum of 5 Beast Gauge weapon skills, and doing so will reduce the cooldown of Infuriate by 25 seconds. It's important to make sure that Infuriate is cooling down before activating Inner Release so you don't waste any cooldown reduction. It's also doubly important that you don't use Infuriate during Inner Release so you don't waste the critical direct hit benefits provided by Nascent Chaos. The Beast Gauge and the actions that consume it make up a large part of the Warrior's kit, but killing things isn't all the Warrior is good at. It has phenomenal self-sustain tools. Although the Paladin can heal for more total HP than the Warrior because of Clemency, the Warrior's healing abilities Thrill of Battle and Equilibrium don't have any negative effects on your damage output and thus should be used constantly. Thrill of Battle, learned at level 30, increases your maximum HP by 20% for 10 seconds, and the trait Enhanced Thrill of Battle, learned at level 78, adds the additional effect of increasing your healing received by healing actions by 20%. Thrill of Battle on its own is fantastic. It can be used as a buffer of HP before a tank buster, or to help stabilize large dungeon pulls. It can also be comboed with Equilibrium, a 1200 potency heal with a 60-second cooldown for very impressive results. Using Thrill of Battle before a tank buster will give you 20% additional health, and you can heal back any excess damage taken with a 20% stronger Equilibrium after the enemy hit lands. One final action you can use to combo with Thrill of Battle is Shake It Off. Shake It Off grants you and nearby party members a shield totaling 12% of their maximum HP. On activation, Shake It Off removes the effects of Thrill of Battle, Raw Intuition, and Vengeance, and increases the effect of your shield by 2% per effect removed. Since the primary function of Shake It Off is raid mitigation, using it in this way is more situational, but it's still something you can consider doing to make yourself more durable. As if the Warrior's self-healing capabilities weren't already impressive, the ability Nascent Flash, learned at level 76, takes them up even farther. Nascent Flash requires a friendly target to be activated. On activation, you absorb 50% of all damage dealt as HP, and the target you cast Nascent Flash on takes 10% reduced damage and receives 50% of the healing you receive. Both effects last for 6 seconds. This is long enough to land 3 weapon skills. With good timing and awareness of your currently available abilities, you can receive massive healing with Nascent Flash. With my current gear, Inner Chaos paired with Nascent Flash restores almost 20,000 HP. And in large dungeon pulls, Chaotic Cyclone heals for about 8,000 HP per target hit. That snowballs out of control very quickly. When you're not main tanking, Nascent Flash is a solid tool to support a main tank, but it's not as strong as Intervention on the Paladin, the Blackest Night on the Dark Knight, or Heart of Stone paired with Brutal Shell and Aurora on the Gunbreaker. The Warrior thrives when the focus of the enemy is attention, and nothing exemplifies this more than Nascent Flash. Although the Warrior spends most of its time mitigating damage through self-heals and lifesteal, it also has access to the standard mitigation tools. Rampart is a universal mitigation tool that provides 20% damage reduction for 20 seconds on a 90-second cooldown. Vengeance provides 30% damage reduction for 10 seconds on a 120-second cooldown, and the other tanks have an equivalent version. Vengeance also has an additional effect of delivering a 55 potency attack every time you suffer physical damage, but this effect is negligible. Finally, Raw Intuition provides 20% damage reduction for 5 seconds and shares a cooldown with Nascent Flash. Depending on what abilities you have available, it'll be more beneficial to use Raw Intuition over Nascent Flash. In general, I like to use Nascent Flash when I have enough beast gauge for a weapon skill or Infuriate ready. I use Raw Intuition during all other situations. To wrap things up, the Warrior might not have a complex rotation, but a large portion of its abilities can be comboed together to enhance their effects. Thrill of Battle and its additional effect will enhance Equilibrium, and consuming the effect of Thrill of Battle with Shake It Off will provide you and your teammates with a larger shield. Nascent Flash's effectiveness scales with your damage output, and its effectiveness will change based on what actions you have available when you activate it. Finally, the Beast Gauge and the Warrior's 1-2-3 combo are straightforward, but you have to be careful about when you use certain actions. For example, Fell Cleave has a higher potency than Upheaval, but Upheaval has a higher potency per Beast Gauge spent, so it takes priority. Infuriate grants Nascent Chaos, which converts your next Beast Gauge weapon skill into Inner Chaos or Chaotic Cyclone, and shouldn't be used while under the effect of Inner Release so you don't waste a critical direct hit. All of these things are simple and easy to understand, but putting them into practice during combat can be a challenge, but that challenge is incredibly rewarding. And there we go, that's going to do it for the Warrior overview. Despite the Warrior being easy to pick up and play, there's a lot of nuance in all of its abilities, and there are different ways to use them in every fight you encounter. Before we close out, I want to give a special shout out and a thank you to all of my patrons. Algino, Alfred, Avi, Chris, Colby, Glenn, Jay, Joseph, Khaled, Kunaka, Musa, Olivia, Ronaldo, Rio, Soul, the Macman, Tower Watch, and Will. You guys are awesome for providing additional support. It means the absolute world to me. It's amazing. I've said it before, but the support I receive on Patreon and also the comments and likes and positive feedback and constructive criticism I receive lets me know that I'm on the right track with my content, and it's encouragement for me to continue making it. Not only do I love Final Fantasy XIV, but I love gaming in general, so it makes me very happy to know that people are enjoying the content that I produce. So, with that said, if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to support the channel more than you already do just by watching, liking, subscribing, and commenting, you can head over to patreon.com/iBluairJgR to become a patron. As always, the name of the game is Final Fantasy XIV, the name of the channel is iBluairJgR. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.